This is the eyeball vent on my Mark II Escort. I think everyone's familiar with them. Turn the knob to let air in, turn the knob the other way to shut the flaps in there and keep the draft out. The one on my driver's side has fallen to bits. I've already taken it out, so I'll just demonstrate on the passenger side. What's happened is these flaps here have fallen off and they're flopping around inside. So I found the first thing to do, conveniently, didn't have to, was take the whole eyeball vent assembly out. This ring here unscrews. You can conveniently do it by getting a pointy object, putting it in one of these holes here and gently tapping it with a hammer. Can't do this two-handed. And it should unscrew. Like so. You can then push the whole assembly under the dash, retrieve it from under the dash and pull off the flexi plastic hose that's attached to it. What had happened was that these flaps had come loose. They were flopping around loose, and the little gear that drives them, you can just see in the back there, had disappeared. Luckily I found it on the carpet. So this is apparently glued together, and I'm not going to risk breaking it by trying to pull it apart. Fortunately, this will rotate with a bit of care. That just came off, that's why it all fell to bits. Rotate with a bit of care. Sufficiently to take all the bits out. There we are. So the way it all works when installed is that gear sits on the shaft there, which has a flat on it. Yep. And it operates the flaps by means of the half gears on each flap. And they come apart like that. This has a shaft with a flat on it, which just presses into there, into the gear there. I don't know whether it's supposed to be held by friction or glued or what, but it's obviously came loose in my vent. There's a little spring in behind there. Try not to lose that. I took all these apart and gave them a good scrubbing to clean all the dust off them. So, the way all this fits together is this knob with the spring on slides through the hole in the carrier there. And then the other side of that, this gear sits on the flat on the shaft and jams on with a press fit. And then the butterfly arrangement sits on the end of the shaft there, like that. What stops it coming off the shaft, I really don't know, but that appears to have a little hole in the end of it. So I'm going to try screwing in a tiny little screw with a washer after it's all assembled in there, in the hopes that that will stop it ever falling off. The end of the shaft is only 3mm diameter. The hole in the end is very small. I'm going to use a 1.4mm by 3mm long screw. Don't know if you can see that. And a 2mm washer because I don't have one with a smaller hole in the end. And we'll see how we get on. So first, you wriggle this round to this side and put the knob and spring in place. Then we can turn this, make sure the knob doesn't spring out. Gets jammed. I think if we get it to right angles there. There. That spring is the problem. It keeps pushing this back out. Not sure why it's there, maybe just to stop things rattling around loose. So we have one more trick to play. Here's some fine copper electrical wire. I'll push that in and tie it in place with a bit of this wire so it can't come back out. And after we've assembled it, we can hopefully just cut the wire and it'll fall away. So here goes. Right, now we'll see if that will hold it while we rotate this halfway round and then push this on. Well now, squeezing that gear on seems to have worked. So now we hope it holds while we turn this the rest of the way. Gently assemble the butterfly. The butterfly goes on just there. Right. Then the shaft, ends of the shaft slide down these grooves here. Right, well those are about equal, so we'll put this washer on there and screw this teensy little screw in the hole in the end there to hold it all in place permanently, we hope. Right, and it's done. So now with any luck we can rotate this back to where it should be. Take off the copper wire. Get a proper cutters for that, and hopefully this thing will now work. Bingo. Oh, there we are. And if it falls to bits again, at least I haven't broken anything.